Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson, and this is video number 16 of the Palmistry series. And in this video, we are going to talk about the specific marking of the star, which is basically a 5-pointed mark that is made with 3 or more lines that come together, similar to an asterisk. So stay tuned. A star pattern on the palm of your hand is created with 3 or more very short lines that intersect, creating a star or asterisk symbol on your hand. Now, this particular sign, if it's on your hand, can be good or bad depending on its actual placement. So, for instance, if you have a star on your heart line, that could indicate some type of issue within a relationship, or it could even indicate some type of heart illness or something along those lines as well. If you have a star on your headline, that could indicate some type of mental issue that has been taking place, or disease or illness in the head, such as headaches or migraines. But then again, if you have a star pattern on your hand only near the headline, but not on the headline, that would indicate that you are a very intelligent thinker. And that is a very strong and positive sign for you mentally. Same goes for the heart line. If you have a star that is near the heart line, but not on the heart line, it would represent that you are very good in relationships and sharing yourself with others. As with any markings on the palm of your hand, you have to also consider the other markings that are involved when reading the hand as a whole. So, a star isn't necessarily good or bad in itself. It just depends on where on the hand it's located, and it depends on what other lines that the star pattern is interacting with. Since the star pattern can mean something different depending on where it's located on your hand, today's video is simply going to focus on what it means if you have a star on one of the mounts under your fingers. I like to compare palmistry with astrology because the different areas of your hand are indicated by the different visible planets in the nighttime sky. So the fingers are represented by different planets, and each of those planets has its own consciousness, which will give you characteristics and different attributes that add to who you are as a whole. So when it comes to the fingers, your index finger is represented by the planet Jupiter. Your middle finger is represented by the planet Saturn. Your ring finger is represented by Apollo, which is also known as the sun. And your pinky finger, the small finger, is represented by the planet Mercury. So any markings on or below any of those fingers are going to be pulling attributes and characteristics from the planet that represents that portion of your hand. If you want to be more acquainted with what each of the fingers and mounds below the fingers represent, I did already create a video called The Planets in the Palm of Your Hand, the Mounds, and that was Palmistry video number 11. So if you want to go back and check out that video to get a little deeper insight on each of the fingers, then that is the recommended video for you. And in palmistry, if you have a star under any of your fingers, that is usually a very positive sign, a sign that could indicate success, abundance, and even fame in some cases. So in this particular episode, we are going to go over what it means if you have a star under your finger. If you have a star below the index finger in the area known as the Mount of Jupiter, then that is a very good indication that you are smart. You have a lot of understanding and are able to comprehend things easily. This star would also represent very good leadership and management abilities as well. If you have a star on the Mount of Jupiter, it could also mean that you will have a very happy marriage life, and after much effort, you will be acquiring wealth, success, and a wonderful reputation within your particular community or group that you are involved in. And of course, the bigger the star, the bigger the good luck here. If you have a star on the Mount of Saturn right under your middle finger, then a lot of times that could mean that you have a lot of achievements when it comes to your career. Because generally speaking, the Mount of Saturn is usually where the fate line ends. So if your star is at the top of your fate line, then that would indicate much achievement specifically in your career. Now, if it looks like the star is actually created using the fate line, then that could definitely indicate just in general many achievements throughout multiple areas of your life. Also, if you have a star on the Mount of Saturn that's not necessarily tied to the fate line in any way, it could simply mean that you are a very strong-willed person. So in some instances, you just want to make your own rules, and so you don't get along well in society or among friend groups. So a star located there, not associated with the fate line, could just indicate that you are very self-willed and possibly like to go alone. If you have a star under your ring finger or Apollo finger on the Mount of Apollo, then that could indicate that you have a very special talent. And the particular talent that you have could actually bring you much wealth from, basically different opportunities that talent can bring you. Now, if your star is a part of your line of Apollo, which I have made another video all about the line of Apollo if you want to find out what that is. But if your star is a part of your Apollo line, then that is going to represent fame and success that is likely connected to your artistic ability or this special talent that you have. If you have a star under your small finger on the Mount of Mercury, then that would indicate that you are a strong communicator, you have good logic and understanding, which also can lead to wealth, and you are also lucky with the opposite sex. And many times, a star on the Mount of Mercury can also indicate that your success in life could somehow be tied to communication with others or in somehow an exchange of energy between people. So this can be as a teacher, counselor, or healer as well. I actually do have a star located on the palm of my hand under the Mercury finger on the Mount of Mercury. But my star located there is a little different than your average star, because on my palm, the star located there actually has a circle around it, which creates a whole new energy called a pentacle or a pentagram. If you see a pentacle or pentagram located anywhere on your palm, this is a very special sign and has a special meaning as well. So while you can take the normal meaning of a star located there, like for me, it would be a star located on the Mount of Mercury, but you can also add in the element of that circle around the star, the pentacle, which is this whole other meaning all in its own, no matter where the pentacle is located. Generally speaking, a pentagram or a pentacle in palmistry is going to indicate a strong connection to spirituality, a strong connection to your intuition, as well as a potential to have a lot of mystical abilities and a deep understanding of the natural world, as well as the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. A pentagram will indicate any person with a strong inner wisdom, a person who is a natural healer, and someone with a deep connection to their intuition, as well as a potential for leadership roles. I find it very interesting that I personally have a pentacle on my hand because I am a Reiki practitioner, which is an energy healer. I am also a spiritual teacher. And I'm also sharing my experiences here on YouTube, so it makes sense that my pentacle would specifically be located right under the Mercury finger on the Mount of Mercury, because I am using communication to speak about this spirituality, intuition, inner wisdom, and healing. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe down below. But once you have subscribed, you can turn on the notifications bell if you want to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.